my name is Ajahn Kaparava. Welcome to my interview about online learning and traditional learning. Together in this interview, we will try to find out which style of learning is better with our special guest, Nilufar Komijonova, who is a senior student at the UCA who has experienced both online learning and traditional learning. So let's get started. Hello, Nilufar.
Hi, Ajahn.
Thank you for accepting my request to be in my interview today. Actually, the reason why I've chosen you specifically is because you had an experience of learning online as well as traditional style of learning. And today I would love to hear your perspectives on that. And as a senior, I think you've come to your own conclusions, and I would love if you could share about them today.
Yeah, sure. Let's get started.
Okay, so first, I would love to ask if you're more inclined to online learning rather than traditional learning, and why?
So overall, I've been studying online for 3 semesters. It's like 1.5 year, which is a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite
It's
a lot. But like the third semester was hybrid, but still I was in Tajikistan, so we were studying online, and half the students who could make it to Bishkek, they were studying here. So that was hybrid. And overall, from my experience, I understood that I prefer traditional learning more than online learning. Because first of all, I'm a person who needs to socialize. I'm super extroverted, and I love interactions. I love people, and in online environment you do not have that, and you're isolated in a room, and you attend your classes, and that's basically it. And of course, that was pretty hard for me. Regarding efficiency, I found overall offline classes more effective than online, because I think interaction is a key in the process of learning overall.
Yeah.
But some they do not agree with this, and for example, introverts they tend to be more comfortable attending classes online, because they can be more comfortable and share the insights, the knowledge, and etc. And they love this self-isolation. But everyone has their own experience. But from my experience, as I said, interaction is a key, and I think this is the pivotal factor behind the efficiency of the learning in the traditional learning, which we do not have in online.
Yeah, I agree. Interaction is a key, and it's one of the most important factors. Thank you for your answer. So moving on to the second question is, I think you already answered this, but maybe you can also elaborate on it and maybe come up with other, not come up, but share your other aspects. So it's, how does online learning differ from traditional learning?
The first difference, as I already mentioned, it's interaction, and I think we are all human beings, and we have feelings, we have emotions, and you cannot feel or share these emotions in online classes, in online environment, because I think while even answering to the questions of a professor, interacting with your peers, with the group mates, and just having small talks during the classes, and just sharing the concerns with your peers or friends, I think it's really crucial, and you can't have that in online learning, unfortunately. And of course, you can connected to emotions and feelings. I think sympathy is also important.
Yeah.
Yes, and we also don't have it in online environment. I think these two are crucial factors and differences between online and traditional learning.
Yeah, I would agree. It's kind of like a problem that's lacking in online learning. So thanks again. And moving on to the third question is, one crucial part of any style of learning for students is to express themselves, right? And because you search for information, you do your own research, and then you want to express yourself, you want to share with what you've got. And how was your experience with it? were you able to, fully express yourself within like online environment?
Mhm. I think while studying online, the main barrier is internet connection issue, or like having some other instabilities while having the classes. And of course, you get interrupted and while speaking. And for example, and you cannot even raise the hand. But there is an option in Zoom, you can raise the hand, and the professor uh, then can listen to each student and stuff. That is possible, but the main interruption can come from the connection issues. And me personally, I experienced a lot of it because Tajikistan's internet is so slow, and while even having a presentation or something, it just disconnects, and you do
lost,
not only lose your connection, but your words and the point that you were
Yeah.
talking about. But in traditional learning, it's totally different. You see the professor, you do eye contact, the professor sees you, and everything goes smooth. There is no interruption and other stuff. And I think, yeah, this is the main barrier while expressing ourselves.
Got it. I see. Uh, I would like you to elaborate on the fourth question as well because I think it's important. And it's another thing I would love to touch upon is like applicability. So it's also important because like when you get theory, you want to apply it then, right? And apply it in your real life. And how was your experience if you had one with it?
Uh, I studied a major where we mostly do the theoretical part, and we do not have like practical things overall. However, while doing an internship, it was online back in 2021. I was completing my internship in Tajikistan, and it was online. So basically, I was a project manager assistant, and we were organizing and implementing projects and organizing webinars, guest lectures, and discussions with influential people all over the world. And to a certain extent, it was good because you did not have to travel. You know, it's online. I mean, we were able to connect and interact with people from different parts of the world, which was great. Uh, but it was effective to a certain extent. And for example, all the theories and the readings and discussions that we have usually in my classes, I could apply them while organizing these projects and while hearing from different people. That was quite good. But in terms of efficiency, again, uh, as I said, when like too many people join the Zoom session,
It's
for
not
example, we had
right.
a webinar where like 900 people joined. It's almost 1,000
That's a
people.
lot.
It's a lot, and most
Yeah.
of them they just could not stay until the end because of the connection issues, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they could
Which
like interrupt each other.
yeah, they can interrupt, and if people forget to mute themselves, it also really distractive
Yeah.
while speaking. In these terms, not that good experience, but regarding the connecting and being able to interact with people all over the world, and just doing something beneficial in the age of the COVID-19. I think, yeah, that's the positive part.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Really good point because for me, it actually opened a lot of opportunities and like you get to like meet a lot of people from different countries
Yeah.
and not spend too much money on that, but still
Yeah.
it wasn't really effective as it's in real life. And it's also applicable to the education as well. Um, Thank you. And moving on to another question, which is from my own experience, I've had some thoughts that like engagement, in like classes and like interaction between like people tend to be harder rather in online space rather than in traditional one. And the question is how professors in your classes were trying to keep like students' attention, and, like keep them like focused and like engaged in the classes while you were studying in the lockdown.
Yes. Honestly, it was pretty hard because this connection instability and connection issues, many students they use them as an excuse not to be engaged in classes and not to interact with others, and while having a breakout rooms and while having a group works and discussions, they would just simply just silent.
Disappear.
Yeah, or like they would just just zoom out and just
Yeah.
leave the session and just saying they have internet connection problems. That was pretty sad, and the people who were in the group, they would just they had to come up with something and work themselves. In these cases, I mean, it's beyond the control of professor. I don't know to put a bad mark or just to punish them. However, most of my ICP courses, we had in the syllabus, it was the policy of the class to have our cameras on. I think this was really effective policy, which we did not have for other courses at the AUCA. For example, the courses that I've been taking, like SYS courses from social sciences and humanities, I mean, that was not mandatory. For ICP courses, we had to have our cameras on, otherwise professor put absent. So I mean, no matter like what your connection is it stable, unstable, no matter what conditions you are in, you had to have your cameras on, and it really helped because like when it's like on for 1 hour and 50 minutes, you really do not get that much distracted, and you really listen to your professor and you just take notes. You do not have any other options. I mean, this was one of the effective ways, but however, regarding the having the engagement with your peers in the breakout rooms, that was not that effective.
So I would like to clarify. So it was not only the case with like professors, but only like students as well, right? Even if like professors were trying to do something, students were like not responsible to do it, right?
Yes.
So okay.
But I'm really happy that like not majority were like this, only few. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know, like the classes would be like super boring. If like everyone would just make an excuse.
Yeah, engagement is really crucial in every part of like learning, in every style of the learning as well. So thank you again. And moving on to actually our last question, pre-last question is, in your online classes within the university or any other place, how was the situation with the availability of the technology? You've previously mentioned about Tajikistan and like Wi-Fi connection, and how did like this experience lead them to like maybe fall behind or feel themselves emotionally?
From my experience, I had access to technology. So basically, you need just a laptop and the good internet to attend your online classes. I had that, but I did not have a stable internet. So maybe most of the people would not be agree with what I say now. For example, I do not live in the center, so I live a bit far. It's not a village, but it's far from the center where we don't have a good internet.
Kind of like a suburban area, right?
Yes. But it's not rural area though. It's just a bit far because like the internet is a bit faster in the center, and people who live in downtown. But a bit far, it's like super slow. But despite this, I was going to my friend's house to attend my classes.
Oh my gosh.
So that's why I think that if you're really committed and responsible, you will find always to keep attending your classes whatever happens. And of course, like I did not feel comfortable to go to my friend's house all the time, so sometimes I had to miss some of the classes which were not, I wouldn't say not that important, but only like the regular classes. But I tried to attend all of them and use my neighbor's network, neighbor's internet, or like I mostly was going to my friend's house or the internet cafes to attend the classes. But we had many students who also come from Tajikistan who live in Pamir. The internet is worse there, and they were of course like they could not able to attend all of the classes. But as I said, like if you're really committed, I mean you just find all the
Other ways.
Yes, always just to attend the classes. And of course it's hard, but this is my experience and I really care about attendance. I think it's mandatory, and I mean you cannot learn when you do not attend, right? But many believe that I mean why we need to attend, because like when you can just do the readings and write your essays and just submit them. But the learning, it happens only in the classroom. But since it was online, let's say it happens in Zoom session while having discussions, interaction with your peers, with a professor. Because you discuss things that's not written in the reading, which is not in the Google sometimes, right?
Yeah, maybe it's...
And they do not
yeah.
understand this, unfortunately. So, yes.
Really good points about, like, you know, having class, like being on time in the classes, because
Yes.
maybe like professor can share like own experience, or at the point about Pamir, like very mountainous like place, and
Yes.
like probably the Wi-Fi is not really quality or not working well. So thanks again. And we're moving to the last question, which is, how is the relationship between students and professors, or maybe students with peers, was for you in both of the learning environments, online education and as well as traditional?
Of course, in traditional learning, it's like much more easy, right, to interact, to socialize with the peers and with the professors. You can just have tea and talk, or like
Yeah.
chat, like in coffee shops after the before
Kitchenette.
the classes, or while having a just simple lunch during like
Yeah.
15-20 minutes. But it's not possible in online. So I mean, but not in. But it was quite hard to keep this vibe up during online classes. But we had regular meetings with our peers, especially these group works. We had more group works, by the way, when we were online, because professors they tried to engage us. So we were like meeting online to discuss this assignment and prepare for the exams. Even if it was like individual exams, we had to meet all together in a Zoom meeting for like 2-3 hours, like in a row, and we would just share the readings that we have been doing and just our notes. That way we tried like our best to stay in touch and to strengthen our ties. And in only in one of my courses, professor had social hours. So he was available for like 2-3 hours every day, so he can dedicate that time to students to hear their problems, their concerns, or just whether it is academic, whether it is personal. It was really sweet and nice of him. So we had that, but it was only from one of my courses, and it's ICP course. Yes, but for other classes we didn't have that, and so most of the professors that I've been taking with classes online, they do not recognize me. Yes, but
Oh,
those
shit.
yes, but those who we had the social hours, just like even online meeting to discuss about something. That time I was applying for action programs, so I've been meeting with the faculty members, with the offices members, and so I think that was like more or less effective and good. But still, I prefer like offline, like face-to-face meetings overall over online. But I mean that time we didn't have any other choice. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was so helpful. I mean, the point about like dividing professors like time, like 2 to 3 hours, actually can, you know, prove that the online education was lacking something. So the professors were doing extra work so that students feel themselves comfortable. I think this is one of the proofs that traditional learning is better, right?
Yes.
And overall, thank you for all of the answers. I think. I actually believe that I've come to like a lot of conclusions about it, and I know that it will definitely help me in the essay. So thank you for all of the answers. This was the final question, and also thank you for investing your time in this.
Yeah, sure. It was my pleasure, and thank you for having me. And I wish you best of luck.
Thank you. Best of luck to you too.
Yeah, thank you.